The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Welcome back, everyone.
Oh, hi.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to everybody who's listening.
Well, why else would I show up?
I have no idea. Good question, actually.
Should learn to lock your doors more.
It was locked. You kicked it in like the animal that you are.
I am.
So, welcome back, everyone.
Yes, welcome.
I'm here. My name is Rod, and I'm here with my co-host, Mel. Hello, Mel.
Hello, Rod.
How are things?
Things are good.
I understand you had quite a storm up in your town this afternoon, late this afternoon.
Yeah, we did.
It didn't rain here at all this afternoon.
At all?
No, like when you messaged me and said, "Hey man, it's storming," and I looked outside and I was like, "Wow."
That's what I sound like, is it?
Kind of. Like your voice is higher.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah, it was. It rained a good portion of the day.
Yeah, it rained here earlier.
It was bullshit.
It rained here earlier today, for sure. But when you messaged that, it wasn't storming here.
Oh, it was storming.
It's a bummer because I love a good storm. Was it thunder?
There was like two really good ones, and then it was like, done.
Did it actually make that noise?
It did.
I guess that tells you it's over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that. I like the mystery. That was weird.
Done.
Yeah, so anything else new? You had a good weekend?
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I went out to the bustling town of Chatham.
Ooh, nice.
Out by Windsor, for those that don't know. And we went over to Detroit for the day and went to Target and did a little bit
Target.
of shopping. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't find my apple pies that I wanted, did
No, but you know what? I did find you something.
Did you?
I did.
Is it, like, it's not communicable, is it? It's not like,
No,
like a bacteria or something?
I did bring you back something, though.
What the hell's that? Oh, dude. Habanero ketchup.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, actually not. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Because I'm like ketchup, ew. Rod likes that.
I do.
And habanero, meh.
Yeah, so you don't use ketchup at all, eh?
No.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sweet, thanks very much.
Consolation prize for not finding your fruit pies or whatever it was.
It is a fruit pie.
Yeah.
It's Hostess apple pie, which I used to get as a kid when I used to go to the States to visit my relatives. And they're like carb central. They're out of control, carby.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But I kind of want one to exercise the demon that still exists, you know. But this is actually healthier.
Yeah, well.
You know, not really interchangeable.
Well, you'll have to let me know how it is.
I will.
I mean,
we'll try a tablespoon afterwards.
Well, okay. I'll take one for the team.
Really? You're going to try a tablespoon of it?
I'll try it.
A tablespoon of straight ketchup?
No, wait.
I wouldn't do
How
that.
about, like, a teaspoon?
Okay.
Teaspoon I can do.
You'll do that. I'm going to watch. I'm going to film it for everybody to see because it's going to look ridiculous.
It'll be a story on Instagram.
Yeah, or the local news.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anything exciting happen while you was in Chatham?
Well, yeah. So we stayed it was me and one of my good friends, and we stayed at her mom and dad's, cheaper.
Yeah.
And they're great, and they love to host, and they're awesome. But they've had some weird stuff happening over the last few months, and her dad was showing me some videos, and I was hoping to get some in time, but I can fill you in.
Yeah, please do.
His security camera was picking up these really weird things flying around his camera.
Okay.
And they look like little mini drones. It's like something out of Star Trek. And I wish I could explain it to you, but I couldn't. And I'm pretty level-headed, but I'm like, what is that? It looks like some sort of futuristic something. Because you see the camera in his garage, for example. So they have one in their garage. They have them all over the place.
Yeah, sure.
And in the middle of the night, you just see this thing like kind of flying over the lens of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Very smooth. So you don't see any wings flapping. Like it was, yeah.
You said this was at night? They were recording this
in the middle
night?
of the night, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they have these weird orbs all the time showing up in front of their camera. And they had one that showed their front yard.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like this orb going around the tree.
How big?
The tree?
Smarty.
No, I'm serious. The tree or the orb?
Yeah, the orb.
I don't know. I didn't ask it.
Well, no, but I mean,
the tree was probably like this big. So
remember, people can't see what you're doing.
I know. I was doing this so I can look at it.
Okay.
Probably like, what, 6 inches round?
Okay.
And you could see this orb that was probably half that width going around the tree and up and down the tree. Mm-hmm. And the next morning, they went out and looked at it when they saw the camera, and the tree's all split.
What do you mean?
There's like splits in the tree, like someone took a knife and was cutting at it.
Wow.
And it's split down the middle. It's really weird. I can't explain it. And it's all dried up, they said. Like, the color's different and everything.
What color was the orb, if any? Or did it just appear white on the camera?
It's hard to tell, right? Because it's at nighttime. So you're just seeing, like, black and white.
Right. I wonder, like, there is such a thing as ball lightning. Do you just let it go? I don't even know what that could possibly mean. I don't even know what that could mean. Oh, my husband has ball lightning. Oh, you better get him to the doctor. Like, what?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Like shooting lightning bolts. Pew, pew.
Well, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun trick.
Yeah, so I don't know, but that's really interesting.
It is interesting. And they've had several accounts of this kind of stuff happening, and just, they had 2 footsteps up on their front porch in the winter.
Okay.
No other footsteps around.
Footsteps or footprints?
Footprints.
Okay.
Footsteps?
I don't know. That sounds actually scarier.
Footsteps?
Yeah.
Footprints. And you could see, like, the outline from where they stepped down on the step, and you could see, like, the snow. So the snow kind of sprayed out when they stepped down hard, right? It had that effect of, like, stomping down. Mm-hmm. Just 2. No other footprints around anywhere. They just sort of appeared.
Do you have a theory as to what the cause of this is?
I have no idea.
Not too bad.
No, I try to, because, again, I'm pretty level-headed. Right. I like hearing stuff like that. It's kind of fascinating.
Like, I immediately switched to devil's advocate.
Sure.
Because, I mean, you want to figure it out.
Of course.
And ideally, you'll apply every bit of logic and reason to explain it, and you won't be able to.
No.
That's what I think.
We spent a lot of time looking at it, and this has been going on for a bit, so he doesn't even have a theory, and he's like, just this weird thing floating through their garage, and it looks like a drone. Like a little mini drone.
Sorry, through the garage and inside?
Like inside the garage, yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe it's a defective camera.
Maybe.
I'm putting that out there, but
okay.
I think
when I get it, I'm going to show it to you.
I very much want to see it.
I'll show you the video, because it's neat. It freaked me out. And I'm like, I'm glad they told me once my trip was done. Mm-hmm. So I'd already stayed there 2 nights, and then they told me. I'm like, sweet. I'm glad I'm going home now.
Do you think it would have bothered you if you had heard it before?
No.
Like at the beginning? No, it wouldn't bother me either.
It's probably like a piece of dust.
I remember you made me think of something. So a number of years ago when I lived in England, my then girlfriend and I, we rented this place in Northumbria, which is the county or whatever you call them now, where Scotland comes across, right? And the Hadrian's Wall, which was built by the Romans, runs across the UK there. And the cottage that we were staying in was built in, I think, like the 1400s or 1500s. And it had really old furniture, like not that old, but, and I thought it was awesome. And I started like telling ghost stories in bed. And my girlfriend, she's like, shut up. I don't want to hear this shit. And I'm like, she said it with an English accent, of course. And I'm like, oh, someone's a little afraid, huh? Mm. But, so some people are really bothered by that kind of thing. I kind of like being scared by that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can appreciate why people get scared of things like that, but I kind of like it in a way. You know? Unless it's like I don't know, a ghost comes into my bedroom at night carrying like a giant club with a nail sticking out of it, then I'm going to be freaked out.
That'd be a little concerning.
Yeah, then I wouldn't enjoy that so much. By the way, the people out there listening, and hopefully there are some of you, if you hear a little clattering noise in the background, it's my bamboo wind chimes. I hope it's not annoying because I love the sound of them. And it is breezy out today.
Yeah.
So...
And if it sucks, then just, email Rod and let him know.
Yeah, or don't.
Or don't.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a good trip, yeah?
Yeah, it was a fun. It was a fun.
It was a fun.
It was a fun. We saw a big snake on the road. Don't know what that was.
What do you mean? How big could it have been?
It was huge.
Balls.
It was huge.
Right, probably an anaconda. One of them Southern Ontario anacondas. They're everywhere down there.
Are they?
No, there's no such thing.
Apparently there's rattlesnakes down there, though.
There's rattlesnake. Yeah, there's the only poisonous snake in Ontario is the Massasauga rattler. So yeah, I don't think you'd have to worry about it being like an anaconda or anything. No. I hope not, though.
It was a big snake.
No.
It shocked us.
Did it? Eh?
It was in the middle of the road. But anyway.
So yeah,
what you got? You got some fun stories?
I do have some fun stories. I have many fun stories. So yeah, I do have some quite interesting stories, I think.
Okay.
You have to forgive me, everyone. I am reading this off paper. I did not have time to commit it to memory today. So if you do hear a bit of rustling, it's not. I mean, it's me, but it's not me. Like it's not a part of my body rustling. It's the paper. Melina will confirm. Oh, sorry. I mean, Mel will confirm that. I just gave away her real name. Don't tell anybody. All right. So I actually heard about this a couple years ago, and I found it completely fascinating. It's regarding the hungriest man ever. Now, we've all been hungry,
Famished.
right? Right. We've all been very hungry. Like, my God, I got to eat something right now. Mm-hmm. I myself am a type 2 diabetic, so, low blood sugar, it ain't a good thing.
Right.
But, if I'm really hungry, you're really hungry, we eat something, we're fine.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Not this dude.
Okay.
So this guy's name is Terrer. He lived from 1772 to 1798. If you need to do any math, that's only 26 years. He was a French showman and soldier noted for his unusual appetite and eating habits. Able to eat vast amounts of meat, he was constantly hungry. By his teens, he could consume a quarter of a cow. His parents could not provide for him, and he was turned out of the family home as a teenager. He traveled France in the company of a band of prostitutes and thieves, who hasn't, before becoming the warm-up act for a traveling charlatan. In this act, he swallowed corks, stones, live animals, and a whole basketful of apples. He then took this act to Paris, where he worked as a street performer. In 1792, Terrer joined the French Revolutionary Army, where even quadrupling the standard military food ration was unable to satisfy his large appetite. He ate any available food from gutters and rubbish heaps, but his condition still deteriorated through hunger. He was hospitalized due to exhaustion and became the subject of a series of medical experiments to test his eating capacity, in which, among other things, he ate a meal intended for 15 people in a single sitting.
Oh my goodness.
He also ate live cats, snakes, lizards, and puppies.
What?
And swallowed eels whole without chewing.
Oh my gosh.
Despite his unusual diet, he was underweight, and except for his eating habits, he showed no signs of mental illness other than what was described as an apathetic temperament. Terrer agreed to submit to any procedure that might cure his appetite and was treated with laudanum, tobacco pills, wine vinegar, and soft-boiled eggs. The procedures failed, and doctors could not keep him on a controlled diet. He snuck out of the hospital to scavenge for offal, which is the internal organs of a butchered animal, in gutters, rubbish heaps, and outside butchers' shops, and attempted to drink the blood of other patients in the hospital while they were bloodletting.
Oh my gosh.
He also tried to eat the corpses in the hospital's morgue.
Wow.
After being suspected of eating a 1-year-old toddler, he was ejected from the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
4 years later, in 1798, M. Tessier of Versailles Hospital contacted the Paris hospital to notify them that a patient of theirs... So you may have noticed there's a weird pause, and that's because something really traumatic happened. And it ended up on the recording. Anyway, we will continue. So the doctor at a hospital in Versailles contacted the hospital in Paris where Terrer had been, and stating that Terrer wished to see them. It was Terrer, now bedridden and weak. Terrer told the doctor that he had swallowed a golden fork 2 years earlier, which he believed was now lodged inside him and causing his current weakness. He hoped that they could find some way to remove it. The doctor, however, recognized that Terrer had advanced tuberculosis. A month later, Terrer began to experience continuous exudative diarrhea, probably brought on by Crohn's or colitis, and he died shortly afterwards. After his death, his corpse rotted quickly. The surgeons of the hospital refused to dissect it. Another doctor, the same doctor I should say, Tessier, wanted to find out how Terrer's intestines differed from that of a normal person's, and was also curious as to whether the gold fork was lodged inside him. At the autopsy, Terrer's gullet was found to be abnormally wide, and when his jaws were opened, surgeons could see down a broad canal into the stomach. His body was found to be filled with pus. His liver and gallbladder were abnormally large, and his stomach was enormous, covered in ulcers and filling most of his abdominal cavity. The cause of Terrer's behavior is not known. While there are other documented cases of similar behavior from the period, none of the subjects other than Terrer were autopsied, and there have been no modern documented cases resembling Terrer's. Hyperthyroidism can induce an extreme appetite, rapid weight loss, profuse sweating, heat intolerance, and fine hair. Bonderson, writing in 2008, speculates that Terrer had a damaged amygdala. It is known that injuries, which you may know is a part of the brain, injuries to the amygdala in animals can induce polyphagia, which is an abnormally strong, incessant sensation of hunger or desire to eat, often leading to overeating. In contrast to an increase in eating following exercise, polyphagia does not subside after eating and often leads to rapid intake of excessive quantities of food. Polyphagia is not a disorder by itself, rather it is a symptom indicating an underlying medical condition. It is frequently a result of abnormal blood glucose levels, both hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia, and is commonly associated with uncontrolled diabetes mellitus.
Wow.
Now, there was a lot more detail available on how much this guy ate. Not just how much, but what he ate.
But what? Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been hungry, but not to the point where I want to,
Eat a puppy?
Puppy.
No.
Yeah.
Or a toddler?
Or toddler.
Can you imagine being so hungry, so incessantly hungry that you eat that kind of stuff? Like live cats?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, at least cook them.
Well, I'd have to be really hungry to eat a dead cat.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying, if you're starving to death or whatever, not starving to death, but you're in a perilous situation, and the cat that's hanging out with you dies, I don't have a problem with you eating it.
Yeah.
Hell, you can eat me.
Right.
Like I don't mean to eat me. I mean but
Yes.
survival first. But I mean, you don't murder obviously for the sake of it. But a live cat.
Like, where does it all go?
What do you
Does
mean?
he just, like, poop himself all day long? Just one gaping hole all the way from top to bottom, or what?
Like, is he a walking ass? Is that what you mean?
Well, the food has to go somewhere.
Well, yeah, but and you're right. Like it said, he died about, it was almost certainly situations relating to Crohn's or colitis,
yeah.
right?
And that, you definitely go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah, and it did say that. I remember reading that he frequently had diarrhea.
Right.
And that a smell emanated off of him that something
Because
I'll
he
have
was
to.
always shitting himself.
Well, possibly, and I don't know when toilet paper was invented. Was it in the late 1700s yet? I doubt it. They probably used rags or something.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been a very efficient system, like not like now.
Oh, gross. Gross.
But what a poor guy, man. Like it said, like he wasn't some psychopath who was wandering around looking to kill people to eat them.
Right.
He was just, he couldn't satisfy his hunger.
Couldn't control it.
Right. And so he would eat anything. And, back in that day and age, you made money however you could because obviously you needed it. So he had a show of eating whatever. Yeah.
He could get a lot of free food in America right now.
Like
Because,
what?
like, all the restaurants you go to out there, like, eat this 70-ounce steak and it's free or whatever. He'd be like, done.
Sweet,
He could just
yeah.
eat for free all the time.
He'd eat 4 of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a terrible
So
situation.
strange, eh?
And there was other, like it alluded to in the article, there were other people with the condition round about the same time. But that there's no known modern cases of such a thing. Mm-hmm. And it was believed to be caused by a head injury.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like a head injury when he was young. The amygdala was damaged, and that can cause that kind of...
receptors aren't telling you to stop eating.
I guess, it's not my area of expertise. I'm not a scientist of any measure. But, yeah, man, just like... He could actually stuff 3 or 4 apples into each cheek.
Wow.
Like, I'd be terrified. I couldn't put a whole apple in my mouth.
You should go try.
No, I do. I do have apples.
You should try.
I think I have Empire apples.
There's another Instagram post.
Yeah, whatever. It's not happening. It's not happening.
What if we like start an auction for it?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
People send in money to pay me to do it?
Yeah. I like this plan.
Do you?
I like this plan
It's
a lot.
a terrible idea. Don't do it, anyone. Don't listen to her. Yeah, so that's the hungriest man ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I wonder if he liked lobsters.
We probably didn't get them in France. Because it would have been pretty decadent. I don't know. Do they have lobster in France, Ben? But why do you say lobsters?
Well, I read a story about there was a thief over in Bristol, England.
Yeah.
24 years old. And I guess he was probably hungry.
Okay.
Because he wanted to have some lobster.
Sure.
But he decided to steal them.
No,
And so
not cool, but...
when you steal lobster, I don't know, I'd probably put it in a bag or something, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently he thought his pants were good. So he stuffed a pair of live lobsters in his pants.
What?
But he learned that crime doesn't pay when the frisky creatures gave him a vasectomy.
Ooh, whoa.
Snip, snip.
That's nuts. So he put the 2 lobsters down the front of his pants.
He did.
Wow, how big were these pants?
I don't know. That's your takeaway, is how big his pants are?
Well,
Or how big are the lobsters? This
well,
should be the
either
real,
or.
Real question.
But I mean, I don't know much about lobsters, but they don't get that small that you could be like, I can get these 2 in my pocket, in my front of
Maybe
my
like
pants.
them moving around in your pants. I'm not sure how people wouldn't see that.
Ooh, I don't like that. I just went there for a second and I hated it. So go on.
Yeah, so he took the lobsters out of the tank and shoved them in his pants.
Mm-hmm.
The man sprinted through the supermarket, but came to a screeching halt when he felt the lobsters clutching on his manhood.
Yeah.
The thorny creatures were finally removed when emergency...
Okay.
Yeah, it does say thorny.
Interesting.
Weird. Were finally removed when emergency medics pried them loose with pliers.
Ugh.
The doctors say the thief will fully recover from his frightening tangle with the lobsters, but he will never be a daddy. Basically, it was a do-it-yourself vasectomy.
Gotta be an easier way. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that thorny, maybe it's a misprint. Maybe the T doesn't belong there.
Maybe.
They were horny lobsters.
Horny lobsters?
Yeah.
Get it?
I totally get it. I made the joke.
Yeah, I know.
I guess it was a joke.
So, yeah,
Wow.
this just happened, apparently. And it said, so obviously he's in the hospital. He is expected to remain there for 3 to 4 weeks.
Really?
But thankful to a kind-hearted supermarket manager, he will not be charged with any crime.
Well, he has kind of paid enough, hasn't he?
The guy's gone through enough pain, said the store manager. I think he has learned his lesson. I doubt he'll ever steal again. Well, lobsters, anyways.
Well,
Or anything pinchy.
what does he have to lose now?
Well, it could, yeah. I mean, he could
Actually,
lose
just I
the
don't.
whole package,
Yeah,
because it's still there.
I
It's
know. I don't really want to. Yeah.
Just, you don't want to talk about it?
Nah, well, it doesn't bother me. I would never be so stupid.
Wow.
Like I would. Like first off, I wouldn't steal lobsters,
No.
and if I was absolutely committed to stealing lobsters, it wouldn't even enter my mind to put them down my pants. Period. Back or the front.
No.
And I don't have any. Like,
Did they not have, like, the little elastics around there?
the clauses?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd think so.
You would think.
But he must have been wearing like MC Hammer pants or something. Right? Or clown pants.
I always wanted MC Hammer pants.
So why don't you buy some?
Well, I don't know if you can get them now.
Baloney.
I'm going to find some gold
Look
ones.
on...
Show up next time in my MC Hammer pants.
Jesus.
With lobsters on them.
Can't touch this.
I get it.
Vaguely. So that was Bristol, England, eh?
That was Bristol, England.
Those Bristolonians.
So,
That's something,
take
all right.
away, don't put lobsters on your dick.
Wait, on your dick? How much...
Took you
Do
a
you not
second.
know about
You're like, what?
male anatomy? Like, you know, vasectomy is not done through... Oh, okay. Not that I was going to school you,
Ugh,
but...
you were primed and ready.
Oh, God. I don't even really like lobster that much.
No, can't.
Like, it's okay. I'd rather eat crab, like crab meat.
Yes,
Snow
agreed.
crab or...
Agreed. Like a good crab dip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, I
Yum.
mean, lobster's alright, but I think it's kind of overrated. But, while we're on the subject of food,
Yes.
because I presume he meant to eat the lobster and not, like, make them into pets or something more even cretinous. I actually read a story. Now, this goes back a while. This is back in 2017.
Okay.
Doesn't make it any less absurd, though, does it,
Go for
Malia?
it.
Does it, Mel?
No, it doesn't.
So this is about an 8-year-old who learned to drive on YouTube. And then he heads to McDonald's.
He learns to drive on YouTube. I
I
love it.
kid you
this
not.
is great already.
So an 8-year-old Ohio boy with a craving for a cheeseburger drove himself and his 4-year-old sister to McDonald's after learning how to drive by watching YouTube videos. Police arrived at the McDonald's in East Palestine, Ohio around 8 p.m. Sunday after receiving multiple calls from people who saw the young boy driving. According to authorities, the children headed to McDonald's after their parents fell asleep early. During the mile-and-a-half road trip, the 8-year-old obeyed all traffic laws and drove effortlessly through downtown, Patrolman Jacob Kohler told The Times. He didn't hit a single thing on the way there. It was unreal, he said. The 8-year-old used money from his piggy bank to pay for the food. Now, I don't get this. It says the workers thought that the parents were in the back, but obviously they weren't. Would it matter if they were in the back?
He's driving.
Okay, son, why don't you take the wheel through the drive-thru?
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Oh my god.
Anyway, a family friend who was inside the restaurant spotted the children and called their grandparents, who later picked them up. No charges were filed, and the kids were able to eat their McDonald's while waiting for their grandparents. I think there is a good teaching point here. With the way technology is, more kids will learn how to do anything and everything, Kohler told the Times. This kid learned how to drive on YouTube. He probably looked it up for 5 minutes and then said it was time to go.
Oh my goodness.
So if you're a parent, you've got young kids.
Yeah.
One who's around about 8 or not far off.
Yeah.
I just want you to imagine for a second how you would feel if you got a call from the police or from McDonald's in your town and said, hey, your kid drove out here in your car to pick up some, some Happy Meals. What would be your reaction? How would you feel?
I'm not, maybe a little bit impressed, but...
That wouldn't be your first reaction.
That wouldn't be my first thought. No, I have a lot of colorful words to say about that. But... Was it the parents went to sleep early, or they were at the grandparents?
No. Well, it just simply said that the parents fell asleep early. Well, I don't really know.
But then it said that he called the grandparents.
Right. So I didn't really get that either. Like, why call... Unless he knew the grandparents and not the parents. That's possible.
It's possible. It's possible. Either way.
But how early did these parents fall asleep?
Okay, see, and I wasn't going to go there, but I'll go there. I don't want to be a judgy parent, but where are the parents in this whole thing? Or grandparents, whoever was looking after them.
Well, I said the parents. Because they were at the parents.
Okay, 8-year-old, fine. Okay, you may not be watching as closely to your 8-year-old. They kind of are pretty independent.
But you don't really expect them to steal the car.
But you don't expect them to steal a car.
Right.
And B, you have a 2-year-old. You just went 4. Yeah. Okay. You just went off to bed. And your kids are still up, and you're like, just peace out, I'll see you tomorrow? Well, or did they, put them to bed, and then they just got up?
I don't know. Did they fall asleep watching TV on the couch? I don't know.
See, and for me, as soon as a kid is up, I'm awake.
Right.
I'm awake. No matter if it's just to go to the bathroom, I wake up.
What time does an 8-year-old go to bed? Probably 8:30, 9?
Yeah.
9 at the latest,
my son goes to
probably.
bed around 9. He's in bed at 9.
Right.
Yeah.
So...
But, I think I would know if he tried to take the car.
Well, it's...
I would hear.
I have to look... Okay, so good on the kid for I guess watching some videos on how to do it.
Yes, it's pretty impressive.
It is. It's very impressive.
I know a lot of people that maybe should watch that YouTube video and maybe learn how to drive. But anyways.
But I do find it a little odd that he thought this was... not okay to do, because I don't expect 8-year-olds to know what's right and wrong all the time. Mm-hmm. But that it was even a thought process.
Yeah. You know what I should do?
Is this actually going to be the new hungriest man in history?
Yeah, no kidding.
Right, I got to have a cheeseburger. He's like Randy on Trailer Park Boys.
Right.
Cheeseburger. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I never watched it.
Oh, you're a fool. It's a hilarious show.
Okay, sure.
Hilarious.
All right.
So yeah, that's
well, that's something.
And I respect his dedication to a cheeseburger.
Sure, I suppose. I get it. Who doesn't love a cheeseburger?
I do.
I could go for one right now.
Oh, dude, don't even.
Yeah.
Really? Hungry. We'll talk.
Okay.
So I think that's about it for today, eh?
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to say before we pack it in?
Well, I don't know if anyone can tell, but we got some new equipment.
Yes.
So hopefully we sound better. We're working on it.
New mics.
We
like new mics.
Yes.
Yeah.
New bunch of stuff. It's fun.
And we've got a couple of new bonus episodes. One we launched yesterday, I believe it was.
Yeah, we did.
I think that was the Fistful of Absurd, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Thank you. I won't tell you where I borrowed that title from, but anyone who knows.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, we've got some social media. If you guys want to hit us up on social, we would absolutely love that. Like us, love it, share it. Mm-hmm. You can catch us on Instagram at _absurd_podcast, or you can catch up on Facebook. It is The Absurd.
Right.
The Absurd.
And
you can try us there. And if you have any story suggestions, comments, questions, whatever, you can message us on either one of those platforms or Absurd the Podcast @gmail.com.
And the Facebook one, it's like the old expression, there's nothing new under the sun. And it is very much true, even when it comes to podcast titles. There is another podcast out there called The Absurd. It has to do with wizards. I've never listened to it, but, I'm sure people who do love it. Just so you know, that's not us, okay? Our podcast has an image of a woman. It might be Mel, I can't say, with a paper bag over her head.
Sounds like me.
She does like to go around that way.
I do.
She does walk into things a lot, but, it's whatever, man. It's their thing. So when you do visit us on, like, Spotify, Amazon Music, or whatever platform is your preferred, do please give us 5 stars. Give us a good review. That brings us closer to the top, and we really enjoy doing this. We want to keep doing it. So that's how you can help us. So we kindly ask that you do so. But mostly thank you for listening, everyone.
Absolutely. This has been awesome. We really enjoyed our time. And, and it's nice to hear that some people are listening to us. So that's good too.
Totally. All right. So everyone, thank you very much. And we will talk later, eh?
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mel. Music by Audionautics.com.